Hello PokeMoshPit, it is 3GameMasters here, bringing you a Pokemon Black and White Wi-Fi battle, and this was a pretty good Wi-Fi battle, so let's get right to it. That's what he said. No, I mean she said. Shit, I just blew my secret. Anyways, I get my fake out up right here, flinch and take a little damage from the life orb, but right here he makes a pretty good prediction. He uses protect and I went for a high jump kick, and if you miss with high jump kick, you're actually going to deal half the damage you would have dealt to an enemy to yourself, so that was a pretty good move on his side. I go for another high jump kick, assuming that he thought that his Garchomp was faster than me, and I actually get a critical hit right here, so I am a lucky boy. I get his Garchomp down, and he switches into his Latios, and right here we actually both make a switch. He switches into his Infernape, and I switch into my Natori, and this was a bad switch for me, because of killers, fire does insane damage to Natori, so I'm gonna have to switch out to my Feraligatr, which can counter this thing. Uses Flare Blitz and doesn't do so much damage, but he gets me Flame, which sucks because Flame lowers your attack. So I really can't use a Feraligatr, which is flamed, but I predict his switch, so I go for Dragon Dance instead. But he switches out to a wannabe Love Disc, so I can't really use that to anything. It has pretty high HP. So I use Earthquake just to see how much damage I can do, and even have Life Orb, and look how little damage I do. So I might as well just sacrifice for Alligator later. So I can't really use it to that much. But I'm going to switch out to my Natori right here. And he switches out, so it's actually Natori versus Natori. And now he switches, and I predict he's going to switch into Infernape, so I went for Toxic right here just to annoy him just a little bit. I'm sorry, dude, I'm annoying, I know. And I switch out, I have to. I'm just going to sacrifice Feraligatr. I can't use a Feraligatr because it's not the fastest one, it's not the most powerful, unless you get a Dragon Dance, then it's really powerful. But with Flame status problem, my attacks is lowered, and that just makes it worse. He predicts my switch and goes for U-turn instead, which is pretty clever for him. Right here, go for Fake Out, and actually assume that he's going to think that I'm going to switch with my Kyundo. So I stay in Bell and go for Stone Edge, and he actually goes for Nasty Plot, which means he predicted my switch. Well, that doesn't necessarily have to mean that he predicted my switch, but we wrote together, and he told me that he predicted my switch. So anyways, a good move from me right there, and another good move from me again right here. He uses Trick, and I predicted that actually, so I go for U-turn instead, which is super effective against Latias right here. And look at this, I am a lucky boy. I get another critical hit, and now I can switch out and not have to worry about another move, and have to use the same move with Choice Scarf again. So another good move right there. Switch out to Swallow, which gets poisoned from Toxic Orb, so Guts gets activated, my ability. Go for U-turn because I don't want to stay inside with Swallow, not that big powerful one, so I know he's going to use Leech Seed. So switch out to Tarzan, which has Fire Blast, and I was pretty sure, because I know he's a pretty clever player, at that he was going to predict my Fire Blast, so I wouldn't use Fire Blast. I was hoping that he was going to switch out to Infernape, so I used the Earth Power, but he's actually going to switch out to his Love Disc wannabe. The Love Disc wannabe, come on. And I go for Earth Power. It would have taken down his Infernape, but he also predicted that. He's not stupid, he's a pretty clever player. I actually do pretty good damage if you consider the HP of that Love Disc wannabe. Switch out my Tarzan right here. Go for Natori again. And he uses Water Soak to make me a water type, which is pretty annoying because he's able to get a Toxic up in the next turn just because he did this. So pretty annoying. So right here I get Toxic, and I used Leech Seed on him. I don't know why. Probably should have made Toxic or something. I don't know. I should have Power Ripped him, I think. But Natori isn't the biggest attacker, so I don't know how much damage Power Whip would have done, but I should have done a Power Whip. He switches right here. He switches into his Natori, and I use Power Whip. Of course, it's going to miss. He watched the tag and gets full life from the leftovers. And right here, I just can't do so much. I'm just thinking what to do, and I make a big mistake. He uses Thunder Wave, predicting me to switch. I go for Toxic, and I forgot that he made me into a Water type. So that's stupid. I forgot that. But anyway, right here, switch out, and he goes for a Leech Seed. And Of course, he could have Leech Seed my Notori because I'm water type right now. But I switch out to Kuyundu, and instead of going for a fake out, which he probably predicted, I go for a high jump kick, and look at this. No! Ah! Sounds like I just made it, but I didn't. It was so close to getting him down. So close, like, he must have 10 HP or something left. It was pretty close, and he gets his Thunder Wave up, which is going to be the death of Kuyundu because of that Thunder Wave. Because look at this. I stay in battle, predicting I can get my high jump kick up. Nope. I get Parahax right here, and it sucks. Right here, I'm just in a weird situation because he uses Wish, and I know he's going to switch out to his Notori to heal him up, but I don't know. Should I take the chance to use a high jump kick? And I decide to switch out because if I don't get it up, I'm going to die on the next move because of Leech Seed, and he's faster and probably faster than me. And I switch out to my Biatch, and this is a Pokemon I only use if, of course, it's the last Pokemon, or if my opponent is always healing. So I'll use Toxic Spice. It's spicy. But I use Toxic Spikes right here. He gets the Leech Seed up, which doesn't really matter for me right much because my Fortress main mission is just to get up Spikes and Toxic Orbs. I know he's going to switch out to Infernape, and I just want to get the last Toxic Spike up right here. This is going to be the death of Fortress because, yeah, I'm just going to sacrifice it. I don't need it. It only has Rapid Spin Spikes and Toxic Spikes and Explosions, so I really don't have that many options. But I switch out. I'm going to sacrifice it later on. Just going to sacrifice Kuyundu because I can't really use a paralyzed Kuyundu, and I'm just gambling with a Parahax one, so I'm just going to sacrifice it because I want to get some spikes up with my Fortress, because that is going to be pretty important. Right here, switching to Tarzan, predicting he's going to switch. That's why I use Drago Meteor instead of Earth Power. And look at this, he gets poisoned, but I go for Drago Meteor, and let me say my Tarzan is Choice Spec. Look at this, insane damage, and no, I didn't get him again. It's like the same situation from that high kick before. It was just, oh my god. That was unlucky, but the poison is going to kill him, so he has to switch out to get a little HP back. So I know he's going to switch so I can get a spikes up in this turn. That's basically what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get my spikes up. Let's see, he's going to switch, and I know he's going to switch into Inferno, but of course he is going to do that. So I get my life spikes up, and right here I'm going to sacrifice my Fortress. It's done its job. It can't. Now I'm pretty sure to get that Loftus wannabe down, and then when it switches in, because I have my spikes up, so I just sacrifice it. He's just going to go for Flare Ball, so I'm just sacrificing it. I know he's going to take a little bit of recoil from that one, so so Infernape is going to be easier to take down, because if it doesn't get taken down by the poison, I can switch into my Swallow and go for a Protect, and that would kill it. And why would he even switch his Infernape out? If he switches it out in later, he's just going to get killed by the spikes. So he might as well just stay in and attack. But I get my Protect up, and he's going to take the deadly damage from poison. Let's see. Now he only has 2 Pokemon left, and I think I have 3 or 4 maybe. So he switches into his Loftus wannabe, and he switches out, which I probably predicted right here, and I go for a Facade right here just to see how much damage I can do with this thing. Actually does pretty okay damage, not very effective, and pretty high defenses on Notori. Right here I go for my Brave Bird, which actually does pretty good damage, but again he survives. I thought it could do more damage. It's pretty high attack stat, this Swallow. So it goes for the Leech Seed right here, and this is the final of my Swallow. It's going to be taken down by poison. So those are it. I have my Tarzan left, and it's going to be good because Tarzan is a pretty strong Pokemon. And I got Tarzan and my Notori. My Notori is toxic. It's not very good of an attacker, but go for Drago Meteor, and this is going to be the last thing of the battle. I get my spatial attack lowered right here. I went for a Drago Meteor because I know I can take Notori down, and if he should switch, I can also get his Loftus wannabe. So here's the final kill with Dragon Meteor and actually get him down with the first Dragon Meteor, even with the special attack drops. So PokeMoshPit, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.